Hello and welcome to FC Dallas Live, presented by Toyota. I am Gina Miller, your host for the next 30 minutes, where this is an all-access pass to your favorite soccer club. What we're going to do over the course of the next half hour is answer your questions, have an in-depth and insightful conversation with one of your favorite FC Dallas players, and get you caught up to speed on what's going on with this club, both on and off the pitch. We are so glad you're here to join us for what is the inaugural broadcast of FC Dallas Live, brought to you by Toyota for first place FC Dallas, who is heading out on its longest road trip in club history, 5 matches away from Toyota Stadium. We'll dive into all that a little bit later in the show, but right now it's time to welcome our guest, my partner in crime for the next 30 minutes, FC Dallas defender Walker Zimmerman, who, I'm sorry we didn't do the show yesterday, Walker, because you celebrated
my birthday.
Yep, number 22.
That's right.
How does it feel to be an old man?
You know, it doesn't feel much different. I
know. Wait till you get to be my age.
Yeah.
It'll feel different. He doesn't know how old
will.
I am.
Probably will. He's like 25.
He's good. I knew I wanted him on the show.
Close.
I knew I wanted him on the show. Now, this is the cool thing. You can be a part of the show as well. All you have to do is tweet us throughout the show using the hashtag. Very simple, very easy. We will be monitoring Twitter and taking your questions throughout the show. You also have an opportunity to win tickets for FC Dallas's next match right back here at Toyota Stadium. Text 444-222 to enter to win tickets. 2 tickets to FC Dallas's match against the Houston Dynamo, June 26th, right here at Toyota Stadium. So a lot's coming up in the show. First and foremost, though, nice to be in first place in the Western Conference, isn't it, as you head out on a lengthy road trip?
Definitely. Being in first place, I mean, we couldn't ask for a better start. We've had our fair share of wins and a couple losses, but overall we've had a great start to the season, and we're really excited to head up to this road stretch.
5 straight unbeaten matches for FC Dallas after playing to a scoreless draw against the New York Red Bulls on Friday night. And I think what's impressive with this team, Walker, is that you look at what this team has been doing offensively, 17 goals through 11 games, but scoreless in the last game, so it's really 17 through 10.
Right. So that's the top of the league.
Yep.
And it's just a tribute to Blas and Fabian, Taisho, Ryan, and really the whole team moving forward, and Morrow coming back has helped us tremendously. So those guys are so skilled at what they do, and it's awesome to be playing alongside of them.
Let's dive a little further into what Morrow's return has meant for this team. Quite a bit,
yeah,
hasn't
Morrow,
it? Yeah,
he's a special player.
Yeah.
He is our number 10, our creative playmaker, and the game's different when he's on the field. Opposing defenses will try and play us differently. And then Morrow just brings so much creativity and dynamic passing and movement that just helps out everyone who's playing around him.
And this is an interesting stretch for you guys, because it is not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4, but 5 matches away from Toyota Stadium, the longest stretch in club history on the road. Is this, and we know it's a long season, we get that, but if you look at critical points of a year, could this stretch be one of those? Yeah,
I think it's massive. Anytime you play away from home, it brings a little extra challenge. You have opposing fans always in your ear shouting at you, and it's just you're out of your routine. When you're at home, you have the same meals, you have the same preparation, and so it changes a little bit when you're on the road. But this is a group of guys who we think we know how to get points, we know how to get results, and I think it'll be a very good stretch for us.
You look at the schedule starting Friday in Montreal, then it's to Kansas City, San Jose, Seattle, and Colorado. 3 out of those 5 road trips are lengthy ones, which translates to long plane rides. And I don't want to, I don't want to make light of this, but that is an issue when you think about getting out there on the field, stretching your legs. These long plane rides that of up to 5 hours can affect you.
Yeah, it is an issue, and thankfully I know with this Montreal trip we're actually leaving 2 days before, which is huge. And it is a long plane flight, so you do get dehydrated on the plane with that recycled air coming through. And also sitting down. When you're sitting down for 5 hours in a row, your body does tend to get tight, your back will tighten up. So it's just one of those times where we have to focus an extra amount on recovery and just being ready to play come game time.
Are you those guys who are in the aisle? Because if I'm on a long plane ride, I'm stretching and doing lunges
I'm
up and
back,
down.
relaxing, walking around. Yeah, we're for sure comfortable on planes. but these are going to be some long trips.
Yeah, they will. You're playing Boom Beach, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, don't even get us started on Boom Beach.
We will get into that in just a moment, a little bit later in the show, but let's talk a little bit more about what Walker has done for FC Dallas of late. Started the last 2 games, played in the last 4, and you've gotten to do that because of some of your teammates who have been out, but you've really taken advantage of these 2 starting opportunities you've had.
Yeah, they've been good matches for me personally and collectively as a group, and it's something where I see every game as an opportunity to step up and help the team get a result. And I think the last 2 games I've done well on my part, and we've gotten some good results.
You were named MLS Week 11 to the Team of the Week. You've teamed up with Matt Hedges, steady, assured play, really to preserve the shutout, but then just consistently as FC Dallas has played well over this unbeaten stretch.
Yeah, it's easy playing next to both Matt and Zach. They're tremendous athletes, tremendous soccer players, and we help make each other's jobs easier through communication and just getting on the same page. And it's something that each and every game, as we play alongside each other, we're getting more comfortable and understanding tactically where each other is going to be, and it makes the game a lot easier.
Your contributions are not lost on FC Dallas's fans. In fact, there's actually a couple questions about this later in the show. But as of late, has Matt said anything to you or imparted anything to you as a team captain, fellow defender that's really affected you and maybe caused a mindset shift, which has manifested itself out here on the field?
No, we haven't had a specific conversation about it, but Matt is one of those guys where he'll always speak well about you, and on the field in practice and in games, he does make me feel comfortable, does communicate a lot. We reinforce each other through positive play, like, hey, well done, Matt, like, way to get stuck in, like, and just trying to keep each other mentally in tune, like, hey, it's corner kick coming up, one-on-one battles, it's not going to be us two. All right, I know that. It's not going to be me or you, so mark up tight, and we have those kind of conversations that help us stay engaged, and it's paying off for us.
All righty. First segment's in the books. You ready to stick around for more?
Absolutely.
See, this is
Let's
easy. FC Dallas Live, presented by Toyota, is just getting started here on FCDallas.com. We're so glad that you are here to join us. Another FC Dallas player is on the move. Daniel Robertson has that story in our FCD Next segment when we return. Plus, Walker will be taking your questions. Still time to get your questions in the queue for Walker by using the hashtag FCD Live. He'll be taking your questions later in the show. And don't forget to text to win. Enter to win not 1 but 2 tickets to FC Dallas's match against the Houston Dynamo on June 26th. Text 444-222. That's a mouthful, Walker.
It is. I feel like it's American Idol, like, oh, 4.
Dude,
2.
See, you can do that so much better than I can. Read that for me?
Yeah, let me read this.
Yeah.
Text 444-222 to FCD Live.
Perfect.
2 tickets to the June 26th match versus Houston.
Perfect. See, he could take my job right now.
I don't know about that.
Yes, you could. I'm sure you could. FCD Live, presented by Toyota, returns right after this.
Hi.
Hi, I need a durable truck to pull my new boat.
Well, Tundra can tow up to 10,000 pounds, and you can get low APR financing.
Helping him get his deep sea fishing badge.
Dad, just fishing, not deep sea fishing.
So you just bought the boat for the halibut. Sorry.
Now, during the Toyota Time Sales Event, get 0% financing for 60 months plus $1,500 on a new 2015 Tundra Crewmax Texas Edition for a savings over $6,000. Offer ends June 1st.
Holy mackerel, you got a great deal.
Toyota, let's go places.
We don't give up. We don't quit. We keep going. Day in, day out. We fight on. Why? Because we are champions. Be a champion.
This week's Moment of the Match is brought to you by Advocare. And it's not 1 but 3 moments that make the cut this week. Goalkeeper Dan Kennedy made 3 official saves in FC Dallas's scoreless draw against the New York Red Bulls on Friday to earn his first shutout since March 28th against Seattle. Kennedy is 2-0-2 in 4 matches in goal for FC Dallas. Welcome back to FC Dallas Live, presented by Toyota. I am Gina Miller, standing by with FC Dallas defender Walker Zimmerman. So glad that you're here with us.
Oh, it's Great honor to be here.
Yeah, for the first show.
That's right.
There's
That's right.
only one first one, and you get the honor.
I made the cut.
Yeah, you did.
I don't know how, but I made the cut.
You're special, Walker. You're very special. And one special FC Dallas fan, or maybe two, can have the chance to win tickets to FC Dallas's match against the Houston Dynamo on June 26th. Text FCD Live to 444-222 to enter to win a chance to win 2 tickets to the June 26th match against the Dynamo. So we saw what Dan Kennedy did in that shutout against the New York Red Bulls. I mean, first of all, let's talk about that match very quickly. These were 2 good teams with only 3 losses between the 2 of you. I mean, it's almost like a win when you play to a shutout against the Red Bulls.
Yeah, they're a great team, and I said it after the game. They're one of the teams that I expect to be competing for that MLS Cup, especially out of the Eastern Conference. They have a great midfield with Dax McCarty, Felipe, Sasha Kleshin, and obviously Bradley Wright Phillips, your returning Golden Boot winner. So they have a lot of ability, and they gave it to us. But after the game, I think a tie was probably a fair result given the chances. But I mean, we always think we can win every game. But they're a great team, and hats off to Jesse Marsh in his first year with that club.
You look at what Dan did. In goal for FC Dallas, 3 official saves, but really what he did not. He did a lot more that didn't show up in the box score. Is that fair to say?
No, it's completely fair to say. Dan, he's one of the most veteran professional guys I've been around in the MLS, and he keeps you tuned in. Throughout the game, he's on you, on your back mentally, just saying, hey, like, make sure you're marking up, and really comes through in some big moments for us. Thankfully, he only had to make 3 saves there, but he's always engaged and always making sure his players around him are engaged, and it's just a tribute to his professionalism and his mentality.
And you look at the duo that you have between the pipes, Dan Kennedy and Chris Seitz. I mean, it's truly one of the toughest in the MLS.
Oh, it has to be for me the best goalkeeping tandem in the MLS. Chris Seitz, also an amazing professional, amazing person, and he's a leader in the locker room as well. Whether he's starting, whether he's not starting, he's always putting in the hard work, and guys absolutely respect our 2 goalies, probably more so than anyone else on the team.
And that makes a difference to young guys, doesn't it? I mean, whether they're playing or not, whether they're sitting or not, being engaged in the match. I mean, that makes a difference to you young guys.
It does, yeah. I mean, we're learning all that we can from the guys who have been around the league and had different experiences with different teams, with the same team, and so those guys have been around, and it shows, and it helps us all out. Well,
FC Dallas is on the move, playing their next 5 away from Toyota Stadium, where I am right now. But homegrown FC Dallas midfielder Kellen Acosta is heading south, way south, to New Zealand. Daniel Robertson has more in this week's FCD Next, brought to you by Chase.
Welcome to FCD Next, presented by Chase. Your look at what's happening in FC Dallas youth. Today we're talking to FC Dallas homegrown midfielder Kellen Acosta. Having joined the FC Dallas Academy over 5 years ago, the 19-year-old has started the last 4 games for FC Dallas, and he just left to join the United States national team for the Under-20 World Cup in New Zealand, which starts next Saturday.
It was just an amazing honor, get to represent FC Dallas, of course, and my friends and family. I mean, we've been gearing up for this for the past couple of years, so just finally get the call, it's a relief. I mean, I'm just really excited to be there, and I can't wait to go out there.
Kellen captained the U.S. through qualifying in January, and he projects as one of the starting central midfielders for the team, which will open the tournament against Myanmar on Saturday, May 30th.
I think I've been progressing pretty well. More games I get, I'm just trying to be as consistent as possible. And then going in, playing the World Cup, I feel like I have 90-minute fitness, so I mean, that plays a big role.
Kellen joins Mexican goalkeeper Jesse Gonzalez as the 2 FC Dallas homegrown players playing in the FIFA Under-20 World Cup.
We had a lot of homegrown talent going over there, so I mean, showing that academy works, and we have a lot of belief. And I know guys coming up, they look up to us, so we need to keep pursuing that and keep going strong in the academy, and have more talent come up, become pros, and also with the national team.
That's all for FCD Next, presented by Chase. For more information on the FC Dallas Youth, head to fcdallas.com/youth and follow at FC Dallas Youth on Twitter.
Thank you, Daniel. Walker knows a thing or two about playing for your home country. That's a great honor, isn't it?
It's got to be the biggest one you can have.
Yeah.
It's always an honor to represent your country, whether it's in a friendly or the World Cup. It's an amazing experience.
Yeah, you were called up. We were one of the 20 players called up for the U.S. Under-23 men's team who played Mexico earlier this year. What was that experience like for you?
It was amazing, especially because it's Mexico. So we'd just come off the full national team winning against Mexico, and then we had our chance as a squad to go out and compete against them. And it was my first involvement with the U23s in this cycle, and I had an amazing experience. Loved getting out there and playing an international game again.
How does that experience differ from, I mean, you're playing here in Frisco with your teammates for FC Dallas. How does that experience differ from playing with a collection of guys who aren't necessarily your teammates in a professional sense, but are your teammates in a patriotic sense?
Yeah, it's fun. So I've grown up playing in the youth national teams, and so I knew the majority of the players at camp, and it's almost like a reunion. Got to go and just hang out with those guys again, just hit it back off, just like we never left. And it's always fun playing with new teammates. And obviously it's different with different style of play. Coaches asking you to do things a little bit differently. So it does create an element of, okay, well, with this team I need to defend this way, and with this team they want me to defend this way. So it creates a little bit of a new environment, but it's a great experience.
Well, up next for the under-23 men's national team is a trip to France, to Lyon, France, but no, you're not going?
Yeah, so yes, I got an invite to the camp, and I'll be staying here with Dallas. Like we talked about earlier, it's a very important road stretch for us as a team, and so I'm here to help out this team and wish the best of luck to all the guys going to France to play in that tournament. And so yeah, I'm taking my responsibility here, and always appreciate a call up with the national team. And I'm also excited to be still with FC Dallas.
Man, turning down a trip to France. I understand why you're doing it, but that's
Yes,
a tough
ma'am.
one for me.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
a tough
Yes, ma'am.
one. It's a lot of fun, these U.S. national team men's experiences. Okay, still much more ahead on FC Dallas Live, presented by Toyota. Walker is going to take your questions. Are you ready for what's
Bring
ahead?
them on. Bring them on. I'm
See?
ready.
Still time to get your questions in for Walker Zimmerman. All you have to do is tweet us using the hashtag FCDLive. We will be asking and answering your questions live on the air when we come back. Also, we will have the opportunity to learn a little bit more about Walker, maybe how he celebrated his birthday. That
Alrighty.
and more still ahead when FC Dallas Live, presented by Toyota, returns after this quick break.
Hi.
Hi, I need a durable truck to pull my new boat.
Well, Tundra can tow up to 10,000 pounds and you can get low APR financing.
Helping him get his deep sea fishing badge.
Dad, just fishing, not deep sea fishing.
So you just bought the boat for the halibut. Sorry.
Now, during the Toyota Time Sales Event, get 0% financing for 60 months plus $1,500 on a new 2015 Tundra Crewmax Texas Edition for a savings over $6,000. Offer ends June 1st.
Holy mackerel, you got a great deal.
Toyota, let's go places.
Layup for block, Perez, and a goal! PK, Sainz saves it! Sainz saves it! Still 3-1! Castillo rounds the keeper, slams it home! Goal FC Dallas!
FC Dallas faces the Houston Dynamo Friday, June 26th at 8 p.m. presented by Novo Nordisk. Tickets are on sale now at fcdallas.com.
Welcome back to FC Dallas Live, presented by Toyota. I am Gina Miller with my special co-host today, Walker Zimmerman, the FC Dallas defender. We are live at Toyota Stadium in Frisco. So glad that you're joining us for this inaugural episode of this live interactive broadcast in which you really do control the show. We will be getting to your questions in just a moment, but because Walker has such a budding career in journalism, do you want to remind people how they can text to win
Yes.
2 tickets?
Yes, text FCD Live to 444-222 for your chance to win 2 tickets to the June 26th match against the Houston Dynamo.
You've got a future in this, man. You do.
I enjoy it.
He does. He's got a future in this. Now, it is the 26th, the match on the 26th, because FC Dallas is going on a 5-game road trip, the longest in club history. That starts this weekend against the Montreal Impact, who have just 1 win on the season. And in fact, that 1 win came on Friday against Real Salt Lake in a 4-1 victory. Now, I don't want to say there is such a thing as a trap game or anything of that nature, but is there any concern along those lines, given that Montreal does just have 1 win on the season?
I mean, any team in the MLS can go up on any given day and beat any other team. It truly is a competitive league, and you saw that with Montreal. I think a lot of their focus was on the CONCACAF Champions League, where congrats to them for making the final in that tournament. But they had a great win versus a good Salt Lake team. And 4-1 that's a commanding victory, and it's something that we've scouted and we've looked at video, and we've seen the ways that they were able to expose Real Salt Lake. And so our goal is just to make sure that none of that happens against us on Saturday.
Okay, very good. Okay, time to answer your questions. And we got a lot of questions in the queue. Got some here on Twitter as well. We're going to dive right into them. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, very good. From Twitter, at CLM1403 wants to know, who's the best forward you've ever played against and what makes him so good?
Okay, that's got to be Thierry Henry from last year's game against the Red Bulls. It really was like playing a living legend, if you will. He was a great player in the MLS and both at Arsenal, but he was just so different than all the other forwards I've played against. He was so smart, physically a specimen, if we're being honest, and he just had a great movement, and it ended up they scored a goal off of a great movement from him that I learned from now, and so I'm well aware of that goal that I felt like I could have done better on. But then at the end of the day, looking back on it, it's kind of like, okay, he's done this to a lot more defenders than just me. So I'd have to say Thierry Henry.
Join the club, right?
Yeah,
join the club.
Yeah.
Anytime you work in a career in which you work, you're going to have pinch me moments.
Mm-hmm.
Was that one of those pinch me moments?
It probably was,
Yeah.
and it probably wasn't too glaring for the normal soccer fan, but it was something that I knew immediately. He checked back towards the ball, and I checked with him too hard, and all of a sudden he peeled away, and I was a step late getting back, and so they clipped the ball over the top. He was able to get in front of me and score the goal, and we lost 1-0. So it was definitely a learning moment for me, but like I said, at the end of the day, it's kind of cool now to have that story of playing against someone like Thierry Henry.
Very good. At Lucci10 wants to know, your positioning improved in the last 2 games. Did something click, or was it something Coach or Matt said?
We've been working, especially the past month, since the Colorado game where we lost here at home. We've been working a lot more on organization, just especially with the back four and also the back four and the 2 holding midfielders. And I think we've come to a more clear understanding as a unit of the back 4, back 6 of how compact we want to stay and shorten the length between our defenders and our forwards. And so I think it's an understanding amongst all of us of we're much more aware of what we need to do in order to be organized and stay compact. And it showed. It's completely showed the last 2 games, definitely. And that's something we're going to keep building on for the rest of the season. But yeah, I'd say that's a fair point, feeling more comfortable in our tactics.
At CoolKenny27 wants to know, after missing out on the under 20 World Cup in 2013, is that extra motivation to be on the Olympic team in 2016?
It definitely is. Not being a part of the U20 World Cup was a frustrating experience because I didn't feel like it wasn't because I didn't have the talent. I felt like injuries kind of came at a bad time for me in that cycle. And it was frustrating and disappointing, all of those adjectives that come to mind. And so looking at the Olympics, it is motivation. I want to be on that qualifying roster. I want to qualify for the Olympics and go to Rio. It's huge motivation and a challenge that I'm up for.
Becky Chabot on Facebook asks, what is the best thing about playing in front of the home crowd at Toyota Stadium?
It's home, you just feel comfortable when you play at home. It's an experience that you've had over and over again, and I love the family feel that we have at Toyota Stadium. Just looking around and the diversity with our fans and all ages, all ethnicities, it's great.
It's a good scene here. It's a
It
really
is.
good scene. On Twitter, at Scott Shiny wants to know, Walker, do you have a pregame meal? If so, what is it?
So I usually make a big batch of spaghetti the night before the game, and I'll typically eat that about 4 hours prior to the game. So I make a ginormous batch, usually 2 boxes of noodles, pounds of ground turkey.
Seriously?
Yeah. I'll make a huge batch, that way I can just snack on it a couple days. So that's usually the pregame meal.
Okay, very good. At Taylor Hester FC wants to know, and this is a very serious question, how are you and Ryan Hollingshead's man buds coming along?
You know, it is coming along. I finally got enough hair back here to slick it back some, and I actually had to wear a headband last game to kind of keep the hair out of my eyes.
Right, yes.
Yeah, no, they're coming along great. We're excited. You know, it's been a long process. I haven't cut my hair since December, right before Christmas time. So the goal here, I'll announce it publicly.
Ooh, breaking news.
Breaking news.
We need a sounder.
The goal is to not cut the top, like the length, for the rest of the season.
Okay.
So I may get a trim on the sides if it gets out of control, but the length going backwards, I'm going to go for the end of October.
That could have mullet potential, Walker.
It could,
yeah.
it could, but you know, I made the public announcement now, and you guys, hey, no turning back.
Got to stick to your guns.
Right.
Another question here on, where'd it go? Of course, it went away. It was from P1s for Soccer Talk. You guys know these guys. They are huge FC Dallas fans, and they wanted to know, does the team fly commercial or chartered flights?
We fly commercial flights normally. There are a few outliers. So on the way back from Philadelphia, if you guys remember this season, our game, we got snowed out in Philadelphia, and we ended up playing the next day, and MLS actually paid for a chartered flight back, which was a good experience for the guys. And typically, though, we are always flying commercial out of DFW, American Airlines. So we'll hopefully see you guys on a flight sometime.
You're dispelling the myth of luxury air travel for
Yes.
professional athletes
Yes,
around
we
the
are.
world.
We are.
There are none of those huge bed seats.
No, unfortunately not. There's no tables where you can just play cards with the people across from you.
Right.
Yeah,
now, I'm surprised we didn't get any questions about you and your skills with the rod and reel.
Oh.
The man can fish.
Yes, ma'am.
What's the biggest one? See, we got a picture of you there kissing a fish. I've kissed
That's
a few in my
great.
day, both human and in amphibian form.
Yes.
But yeah, look at you there. Look. What's this? What are we seeing here?
Yeah. So this is me and my Baltimore Ravens bucket hat that I got from my my girlfriend and their family, and that's one of the bass that I caught, I guess, last year or 2 years ago. My parents were in town this past weekend, and my dad and I went out, and I had a Snapchat story where we caught a bunch of fish at my apartment complex. And I actually reeled in probably the biggest one I had caught there, probably about 3.5 or 4 pounds. It was funny. I thought I had caught a branch because it just didn't really swim around on me too much. And I was like, oh, that is actually a fish. Reeled it in. It was a pretty big one.
Are you a catch and release kind of guy, or do you eat 'em?
Yeah, I'm a catch and release kind of guy. I know Zach Lloyd would probably be a little disappointed with my tactics because he's the guy who'll go out and he'll fish, he'll clean them, he'll make some rabbit stew, and he's definitely got a little more southern flair than I do. But I do love fish, but I actually don't even know how to clean them.
Seriously?
Yeah, I'm a nice guy. I just catch and release.
I'll take you. We can shoot a story. We're going to go do yoga together for an upcoming story for one of our broadcast initiatives for FC Dallas. I can clean a fish.
All right.
I'm a true Texan. I can.
Yeah, I would love to learn.
Yeah. Have you found the sweet spot here in Dallas, the honey hole in Dallas?
So I usually only fish at my apartment complex.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So up for suggestions.
Yeah.
Maybe going out to Lake Louisville, and I know Coy Craft. We talked about going fishing sometime soon. Maybe Warren Park or any of those good locations. So I'll be out there. It's definitely fishing season.
Okay, FC Dallas fans, you've got to let him know where the honey hole is in
Please.
North Texas. And I know there are a ton of them. Lake levels are high right now. Shoot, on my backyard area, you can go down, you can get some fish. They've probably got nuclear chemicals in them because it's in the city of Dallas. But no, you don't want to eat those. But they're good spots to go fish. And finally, this is my own personal question. I have an inside source within this organization.
Yeah.
Tell me that you guys are competitive out there on the field. That's fine.
Yep.
But really, Boom Beach.
Boom Beach.
That it's like sick, insane competition with this video game.
Yes. So right now, you're looking at the general of a task force that we have created. Boom Beach, it basically started with Zach Lloyd, I believe, was the founder of the other task force, which they're called FCD2. And it involves, I think it's Zach Lloyd and a couple of his friends, and then Chris Seitz and Tesho and Kyle Becker were in that task force. And then, I kind of took it upon myself to be like, hey, well, a bunch of us new guys are going to come in, see what we can do. And so we created a task force of 10 people called FCD Academy, where we're training to get into the big leagues. And so it's Ryan Hollingshead, myself, Coy Craft, Stephen Keel, We got some people in the front office on the team. Hopefully I'm not missing any other people. My roommates on the task force as well. But we play pretty constantly on the phone, and we go on missions. We got a mission going on right now.
Oh.
Got an attack coming up in a few hours. But it's a great game. It's a way to stay involved with everyone, and it's just a lot of fun, especially on the road trips.
Okay, so give me, as we get ready to wrap things up here on FC Dallas Live, presented by Toyota, give me your number one strategy for dominating in Boom Beach.
It's communication. It's the same thing on the field. So I'm the guy. So I'll look at I'll scope out the mission.
Right.
And I'll type in our little message thread. Okay, like, Steven, I want you to take out the 2 boom cannons, the mortar, the flamethrower on the right. Ryan, you flare around to the back, take out the sniper towers, and we just organize the attacks. And it's all about execution after that. But it's a blast, and there's tons of heckling because you can spectate an attack and watch an attack over again. And so, for example, we have Coy Craft, whose name is Narnia on Boom Beach. He's had a few shocking attacks, and we've gotten to light him up in the locker room a little bit. But he's turning around as of late, so he's helping the team.
Walker, I think you have a career in coaching and in media because you talk about the process as it relates to your hair.
That's right.
You can talk about what's going on the pitch with expert authority, and you can also strategize with the best of them.
That's
the
right.
future is bright, Walker.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining us. This
Thank
wasn't
you.
too painful, was it?
No, it was a fantastic time.
Great.
I hope you guys enjoyed it.
And everybody can follow you on Twitter.
Yes, at the Walker Zim. And then I have an Instagram, but I'm going to be honest, I rarely post. But maybe I'll have to start doing that if it calls for it.
When you catch the big one,
Yeah,
post
no,
it.
I'll definitely post the big one. So send me those honey holes, and I'll post.
Alrighty, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And most importantly, thank you so much for joining us for this inaugural episode of FC Dallas Live, presented by Toyota. You can watch the replay of this show on YouTube, FC Dallas's official YouTube channel. Of course, you can always keep in touch with FC Dallas by visiting fcdallas.com and connecting with the team on Twitter at FC Dallas. Thank you so much for joining us. FC Dallas Live is presented by Toyota and brought to you in part by Advocare. So until next time, be sure to keep in touch with FC Dallas on all its social media platforms and at fcdallas.com. I am Gina Miller, your host for FC Dallas Live. We'll see you next time.